Welcome! You're on the Vedic Astrology channel, and this is your forecast for August. And before we begin, one crucial point. The forecasts presented here are based on your ascendant sign. This isn't Western, it's Vedic astrology. Check out the first video on this channel, where I explain in detail the difference between Western and Vedic astrology. If you don't know your ascendant sign yet, just send me your date of birth, exact time of birth, and place of birth, and I will absolutely help you determine it for free. All my contact information can be found in the description right below this video. Aquarians, if you've kept up with the forecasts, you'd know that since last May, Rahu has resided squarely in your own sign, in the first house, the very house of yourself, your body, your character, and how you project yourself to the world. This is a Kendra house, the most prominent house in the chart, and Rahu here all year has been intensifying the hunger for reinventing oneself, for seeking recognition, for truly becoming someone new. In August, this story truly reaches one of its brightest points, and on August 27th, an eclipse arrives directly here, into your very own sign. But first things first. On August 2nd, Mars leaves your fourth house. The fourth house is the house of property, mother, and inner peace, and it enters the fifth house, into the sign of Gemini. The fifth house is love, children, creativity, and intellect. This can manifest as a sudden surge of creativity or a playful flirtation after a more subdued and home-focused time. This might be a daring decision regarding a child or perhaps your creative project. This suggests a more energetic and adventurous attitude towards life. And on August 5th, Mercury exits the fifth house and enters the sixth house in Cancer. It's moving to where the Sun and exalted Jupiter are already located. The sixth house encompasses work, health, daily routines, as well as competitors and debts. This might manifest as a long-sought clarity in work tasks that was previously out of reach. This could be a successful resolution to a health issue, or a confident victory in sports, in a debate, or in a competitive situation. On the 12th of August, a new moon occurs, precisely aligning with your sixth house in conjunction with exalted Jupiter and Mercury. Here, in the House of Obstacles, Jupiter acts as your generous protector. Even difficulties are overcome with surprising ease, and this could manifest as a significant victory over a long-term rival or a persistent work problem. It could be a noticeable improvement in health and the start of an effective routine. It could also be an unexpectedly successful resolution of a financial debt. And on August 16th, the Sun leaves the sixth house and moves into the seventh house, into the sign of Leo. It's the house of partnership, marriage, and unions. This isn't just about romance, but also business partners, contracts, and negotiations. It moves to where Ketu is located, and this can manifest as heightened attention in the area of personal or business relationships, following a month dedicated to work potentially involving negotiations with a business partner, or a crucial contract demanding a significant decision from your end. Or a desire to reevaluate the balance between me and we, whether in a couple or in business. Then, on August 22nd, Mercury joins the Sun in the seventh house. Ketu has been in this house the entire year. It is a Kendra house, and it won't automatically become gentle on its own. Instead, it tends to detach one from preconceived notions of how relationships should ideally be, fostering a push toward a more genuine, less performative intimacy within both personal connections and professional alliances. This might manifest as a frank discussion with a personal or business partner, shedding light on things without pretense. It could also involve crucial negotiations or the signing of important documents, with Mercury providing the precise clarity needed. Or it might be an unexpectedly accurate realization of the true nature of the partnership you truly require. And on August 27th, the most significant event of the month for Aquarians is the full moon. And this is no ordinary full moon. It coincides with a partial lunar eclipse. This marks one of the most profound eclipses we've seen in a considerable time, occurring directly in your own sign, in a powerful alignment with Rahu, which has held its position here throughout the entire year. In the seventh house of partnership are Sun, Mercury, and Ketu. This eclipse falls directly on the axis of self versus the partner's house and can manifest as an abrupt and significant reevaluation of your identity, triggered by your relationships. It could be a bold decision about the person you wish to become, regardless of your partner. This could be a moment that brings an important union to a definitive end. An eclipse truly does not tolerate half measures, but what unfolds during these days will likely remain significantly impactful and lasting for a considerable amount of time. And one more detail: for the entire month, Venus is in your 8th house in the sign of Virgo. The 8th house is the house of transformation, secrets, mysticism, psychology, and shared resources. For example, it's also the house of other people's money, like a spouse's money or an inheritance. But in Virgo, Venus is in debilitation, and it doesn't feel very comfortable here. This can manifest as emotional vulnerability in intimate relationships, feeling more acutely vulnerable than usual, experiencing doubts about your own attractiveness during moments of openness with a partner, or encountering tension concerning shared finances or intimate affairs. Against this backdrop, Saturn, your own ruling planet, is retrograde all month, and it's in your 2nd house in the sign of Pisces, the house of money, family, speech, and accumulated assets. This could show up as a gradual yet reliable restoration of financial stability, perhaps more measured and thoughtful communication in family discussions, or even the necessity of reevaluating past monetary obligations. Now, let's briefly touch upon health, finances, career, and love topics for August, specifically health in August. So, what's in store for an Aquarian's health? The exalted Jupiter in the 6th house in the first half of the month is excellent support for health and for working on long-standing issues. A weakened Venus in the 8th house might slightly affect your emotional state in the second half of the month. Allow yourself ample time for a complete recovery following the impact of this eclipse. What about your money in August? Saturn, your own ruling planet, is retrograde in the 2nd house of money, asking for patience in finances all month long. Don't anticipate rapid growth, but what you're constructing now will turn out to be highly dependable. A debilitated Venus in the 8th house suggests paying closer attention to joint finances during the latter half of the month. Now, let's talk about career. What about career in August? The first half of the month is particularly strong for work and overcoming various obstacles. Jupiter, the Sun, and Mercury, when in the 6th house, really do grant significant victories over competitors and routine difficulties. Utilize this period. The new moon on August 12th is particularly beneficial for resolving long-standing work issues. And what about matters of love and relationships? This is one of the main themes of the month. K2 is in the 7th house of partnership all year, and starting August 16th, the Sun and Mercury will also arrive there. And relationships require honesty, not a script to follow. And the eclipse on August 27th, occurring on the axis of self and partner, could truly become a pivotal moment. For those in a relationship, it is vital to discern what each of you genuinely desires, even if that truth feels inconvenient. The eclipse will expose what has long needed an honest conversation. For those who are actively searching, late August and September could bring about an acquaintance that immediately feels both serious and far from ordinary. But it is not worth rushing things. Give yourself ample time to truly understand what you desire after the profound internal transformations this month brings. Here is the main message for August. Aquarians, this August asks you not to be afraid of changing in front of others. Who you are becoming is actually far more significant than how familiar it might appear to others from the outside. Dear Aquarians, I truly wish you a wonderful August, and may this month's eclipse not ruin things, but instead clearly reveal who you authentically are right now. And may that person turn out to be someone you truly love and appreciate. That was the general transit forecast for your sign. Your personal natal chart, or your personal annual forecast, will reveal precisely which themes will be most prominent for you and the extent to which these transits will manifest in your life. For an accurate analysis, I need your date of birth, exact time of birth, and place of birth. All contacts are listed below this video.